Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome Scott Allen with Entrinsik. And Scott, well, first of all, you are a NetView supporter and a silver partner of NetView, and I have worked with you for years. The reason that I've asked you to be here today is because over the years, we've talked about your product Informer. And over again, it continues to evolve, it continues to grow, and your webinars are by far one of our top attended when you have them. And so I wanted to get a little bit more information. You've created a few new really cool things within the product line. We're coming up on our annual conference. There's only a specific amount of people that are able to attend from the membership at large, and I want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to see what's going on. So, a couple things. I took some notes here. I want to make sure before you get off this line that you talk me through the product informer and that you show me how you can prompt it to do several different items. So I want you to kind of show me the dashboards, talk me through the various tools such as carrier performance, cross-selling opportunities, policy lookup, the comparison of tools for carriers, and then last but not least, talk about Magic Reports and how you can create insurance proposals. And then lastly, which I think is super cool and really excited for your organization, is your MobileGo. I know I just put you on the spot for a whole lot of stuff, but I'm going to put
I'm ready.
myself
I'm
on
ready.
mute and I'm going to ask you to show your screen. And again, I'm recording so our membership can be as excited as I am when you share everything you all have going on.
No, I appreciate that, and I'm excited for Accelerate. This year, obviously, is focused on AI. Our company's been doing a lot with AI over the last 3.5 years, and I think what we've got is amazing. And I hope people watching us will come by and see us at Accelerate. When you walk in the doors, we're at number 301. We've got a big 10 by 20 booth this year, and I would love to talk to everyone that comes in that door. Um, so this is what people think of when they think of Informer. It's an automated advanced reporting visualization tool. We can set up reports to be sent to certain people in the agency at a certain time. You could do visualizations, and when you see visualized data, it usually pops a little bit more than just looking at a flat file. So dashboards, reports, automation have always been at our core, and we still do that every day. And we've got the filters at the top, which are really cool. When in when we started with the AI, we then kind of graduated to, hey, Informer, through a Magic Report, I want you to create a visual for me. And I would just explain, hey, go out and look at my book of business and give me an HTML card that has the top 5 KPIs, and that's what we're looking at here. And then I can say, hey, let me show me the change from last year. So it would reconnoiter it and rebuild it. And it was very cool. And we were able to do charts that we were never able to do because we didn't have the UI back there. So like a Sankey chart. Hey, create me a Sankey chart that correlates producers and lines of business. Very cool, very, very visual, very interesting. Give me some trending information. More HTML cards. Here's my top 5 producers, and it's kind of a leaderboard. So very cool. Magic visuals, very neat. That was kind of the next step of the AI. Now we get to this next level where we have what we're calling these apps or Magic Reports, which is using a lot of AI, which is I'm basically able to now say, hey, create a dashboard for an executive in our agency. I want a date filter at the top, and I want you to tell me how many months or years I'm looking at, which is right up here. And then I can just look at these KPIs. And if I pop into these KPIs, we have these modal pop-ups that jump out and break down all the information you want to see and any insights, your year-on-year growth. And if I like something or if I need to act on it, I can actually export it out. But I can do that with any of these. I'm going to look at my commission report. Um, then I can go down and look at some interactive visuals. I can basically, hey, if I didn't have package, what would my business look like? So very interactive, very cool. And then it goes in and starts to do some insights. It's going to give me my top producers, and then it's going to tell me, hey, here's some strategic insights I think you need to look at, right? Reduce carrier concentration risk, accelerate top producers retention. So neat stuff. So this is now the AI that's really kind of coming into play. This is a dashboard. Again, keep in mind, we still have the ability to share, distribute this at a role level security where I'm only getting access as Scott Allen, the producer, to my information. So any rules that apply when we set you up as a user flow through Informer on any report you're going to look at. So not only do we have this great tool, we actually have a solution that we sell. So we're not just saying, hey, go have fun, do whatever you want with Informer. We basically have a package out of the box solution that we build for you. So we bring your data in from AMS 360. There's a cost to that. Vertafore charges for your access. It's nominal when in the grand scheme of things. Takes a couple of weeks for them to get that out and get it all validated. We pull all of your data into Informer, 100% of the data. And then we basically create these reports. We have bundles. We have lots of AMS 360 customers. They all have these reports. And this just gives you an example. So, 30 reports, 3 departments, a total of 5 dashboards, but other agencies have, 20 dashboards. And it's automated. It says 24/7, but it's going to be updated. All of the reports are updated every single time we refresh the data. And that is really between you and Vertafore. Most of our agencies are just every 24 hours, but they do offer a service for every couple of hours. And then if you pop into here, this is kind of giving you an example of what these reports look like. So if I go down to my accounting department, I want to look at a credit balance report. I can look at the credit balance report. It gives you an example of it. But the point here is that we're not just giving you Informer and saying, have fun. We're giving you Informer with a pre-built solution that our agencies over the years have asked for. So these are very important problem-solving reports that agencies need and want. So that you're not just going it alone. And we talked about some of those tools. This one I'm probably the most excited about. First question whenever I'm on the phone with somebody or at Accelerate, well, can you clean my data? And the answer's always been, well, yes and no. Informer can bring bad data to the top very quickly. We've done reports where we go and we create a report where you've got your NAIC code, and you go and look up the customer for that NAIC code, and all of a sudden you've got 3 companies there because they were free-form fields and people typed in ABC accounting or ABC ACCT. You get the idea. So you've got multiple customers under a singular NAIC code, which is bad data. And as I said earlier, bad data makes bad reporting. Business intelligence is there to help you get good reporting. So there's a couple things, right? So bad information in, bad information out. Without clean data, there is no good business intelligence. And there's nothing more true than without good BI, there's no good AI. So it goes to the root of the problem. So you really need to make sure your data is clean and it's up to date. And so getting rid of duplicates and missing data has been a problem. So Informer's always been able to quickly bring it to the surface. And then it's been a matter of export it out to a CSV, give it to someone and go fix it. We now have a tool in a way to go ahead and create a report like this. So go and look at my data and tell me what's wrong, what's missing, and what it's costing my agency. And then we can now, you can pop in and look at this missing data. I can export it to a CSV, which then can be manually fixed. But we will be showing at Accelerate a complementary product where we identify where the bad data is, and then you can basically go in and pull up a screen, fix email addresses, phone numbers, commission, whatever it might be, CSRs, and bulk export that back and write over your AMS 360 data. So there's no more needs to go into a client and then go into a particular person and then go into the field that says phone number, and 5 clicks down, you change 2 numbers in a phone number. It's no longer that way. So super excited about this. Can't wait for you guys to come by the booth and talk about that. And by the way, we don't have to wait for the booth. Whenever you see this, if you're excited, give me a call. We'll get started. We'll get a head start before Accelerate. You'd mentioned this earlier. So everybody gets carrier reports. at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, and they're basically just PDF versions of Excel spreadsheets that the carriers provide. Some of them go into your AMS data, but a lot of them are manual. We can now basically point Informer at a file system. So if you create a folder, we can point at that folder, and then we can do queries off of it. So this was a, hey, tell me about, give me a March 2026 year-to-date comprehensive analysis. Truth be told, these were like, I think, March of 2024 files, but nonetheless, it was able to go in and look at it. And I just prompted it, hey, give me a complete report on my March carrier reports. And it went in and gave me a lot of insights. You know, who was the best, what was the overall loss ratio, and what was my total written premium? And then it breaks it down by the carrier performance. And it gives me some analytics that I can actually look at. And it's just all with a simple prompt, it builds this overall assessment, top recommendations. So again, we're no longer having to pull the insights out ourselves. It's pushing them to us. It's telling us exactly what the data is showing. So this one, I think, is from a pure time savings. This is a huge time saver, and I think it provides incredible insights to your carriers. Everybody always talks about cross-selling. How do I identify my client base by a single line of business, two lines of business, three lines of business? We now can simply do that. Hey, go look at my book of business and bring back and return to me what my opportunity is for cross-selling, who I need to focus on, what line of business I should focus on. And so it brings these insights. It gives you your top salespeople, your recommended action plan or implementation plan to do that. Gives you, revenue projections if you never got another customer and didn't have to get any new business, but just went and got more business out of the people you already have a relationship. This is a very cool tool. And again, we have a lot of people who have asked for it, and I think it's already bringing great returns. This is a simple one. I mean, you just can go and look up if you've got a customer that's had a policy with you for 10 years, you can basically just say, hey, go look up policy number, or go look up this customer, or look up this carrier. And it's going to give you a comparison of all their policies year on year, very quickly, very simply, and no longer a need for flat files. This is just again, very simple. You can go and ask, hey, I just got a couple of quotes in. Give me the AAA versus the auto owners and tell me the difference between the policies. And it's going to say premium comparison and the savings or the not savings. It's going to give you the core coverages and how they're different comparisons. So again, cool tool. And I really hadn't thought about this, but something like this could be a customer facing tool. Again, you provide the rails and the guardrails and the security. This could be on your website, and you could say, hey, enter in your credentials, and you go look up your policy comparison for the last 10 years and see how it's changed. We don't limit that. So this one's kind of cool. This is very recent. We have been working with customers on doing proposals. And because we have all the data, so we can actually do some very cool things, building proposals with our templates reporting, where it goes and it auto-populates all the last year's policy information and builds a proposal. Our new tool makes this extremely easy. It just, you ask it to go and build a proposal, and you ask it to go and look for the customer and look at the data around that customer, and it goes ahead and you can theme it. You can completely customize this with your colors, your agency logo, very simply. You can brand it for your customer that you're going after or that you have. But proposals are very, very easy to build now using Informer. And they can be automated because again, this is related to templates. So everything is in our environment. So being able to build proposals, super, super cool. So lastly, you mentioned our mobile product. So I'm going to introduce everybody to MobileGo. Welcome to MobileGo. It is a native application. We have desktop, a web version, and then also Android and Apple native app. So When you log into Informer, you drop down the screen, you say download Informer, a QR code pops up, you click your phone, you log in with your user credentials. So what's most important there again, all that role level security, what data am I allowed to see within my agency is in there. But not only do you have the capability to query your data and ask it to, and look at any reports that you have built. So like I just said, we've got this cross-selling report, the book of business. So if I look at this, it takes a second to pop up, but I can be on my phone and I can go, hey, show me this latest dashboard so I can, on a Friday night, let me see how we did this week from a production standpoint from anything. So here's our book of business executive report. We looked at it before, and this would be on your phone. You can still interact with it. You can look at your top producers. So Informer Go is a repository of all your reporting up to date. You can also build what these things I've been showing you are all things I've built in Informer Go with the AI, using your data, being able to interact with the web to go out and find data that's aggregated and big eye information or whatever out publicly available, so we can do, hey, how does my agency compare from a commercial and personal lines ratio to the industry average for agencies that have $50 million worth of premium, and it'll come back and it'll show that to you. And it really is also, this is where you build reports, but it's also like a chat GPT. I mean, but it's secure. Again, it's in a secure environment. The way we interact with data is when we pull your data in, we index that into Elasticsearch, which is a search engine, an indexing engine. And so we're not throwing your book of business data out to an LLM and then having it do a bunch of stuff and bring it in. It's all done and closed inside of Informer, and it's really the AI working with the Elasticsearch indexing. So it's very secure, and so it's not like you've got people going, hey, I'm going to load these two endorsements into ChatGPT and then create a differential report so I can send that via email that ChatGPT created for me over to my customer. All of that can be done. We can do the exact same thing that ChatGPT does, but the difference is I can go ahead and I can attach a data set. So I can look at book of businesses. I can look at books. I can look at financial information, anything I want. I can actually just upload any files or point to a file system. So this is a library. So if I want to, again, we were talking about a file system with folders and such. You can point it to go, hey, go look at that. And then when you do your query, hey, go out and look at my carrier reports from January 2025 and January 2026 and show me the difference in what I should focus on. Something that simple, it will go out and do that and bring you a nice return and a nice report. And you can save that report, what we call an app now. And so it can be replicated. Every time you open it up, it knows, oh, I'm supposed to go look at this again and give it any updates that it's supposed to have. So Informer Go, very exciting. It's going to be released about the same time we're at Accelerate, so the time is perfect. So I think we've come quite a long way from Informer, which was an incredibly powerful tool, and it's used. We have 850 customers that use this every single day across multiple verticals. But where we're going with Informer and Informer Go is just super exciting.
Scott, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time. Like I said, you've shown me this several times and it continues to grow, and it's really phenomenal what it can do. And for you on your busy schedule, especially when we've got a lot of stuff going on with your partnership with NetView, to take the time to meet with me and for me to say, hey, can we record you and can you show me everything going on so I can share it with the membership? I just so much appreciate it.
No, this is great. I obviously like to hear myself talk, I guess, but I, but no, I'm excited about the product. I love the product. I love what we do for agencies every day. We hear things like, hey, it used to take me 2 days to do my month-end reporting. Now it takes me 15 minutes to go in and validate it. Hey, you found me $100,000 in commissions that were entered in wrongly, and our agency was short that. I mean, when you get anecdotal true testimonials from customers that are using it, because I'm not an insurance person, but I really think it's a great, powerful tool. We love working with Vertafore, AMS 360, huge opportunity for us all. So anyway, I'll look forward to seeing everybody at Accelerate. But as I said earlier, if you want to talk about it sooner, give me a call.
That's great. And I will connect your contact information on the NCOM as well as in our newsletter so that folks can get in touch with you. And I'm certainly going to make sure that I share this before sooner than later so that our members can see what's going on. But again, I just want to thank you for coming on today.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Lynn. We'll see you in a month.
I know, right?
Yep. Thanks.